For as long as I can remember, my favorite sport has been ice hockey. And for as long as I can remember, there have been excellent ice hockey video games. What's going on, everybody? I'm Jay. Welcome to Square Pegs. Today, I'm taking the guesswork out of the sport. I'm taking the mystery of what is the best out of the question, and I am giving you what I think are the 10 best ice hockey video games of all time. And we're starting now on the NES. Well, let's kick things off on the NES, back when I started playing video games with ice hockey, which is about as basic a game as you can get. It's loosely the sport of hockey. You don't actually get a full team. It's 5-on-5 instead of 6-on-6, counting the goalie, but it's still really fun. This is, I think, a better game than Blades of Steel, and I know to some that's blasphemy, but it's true. It's a better game than Blades of Steel. Blades of Steel is awesome. Ice hockey's better. You get to choose from international teams, so if you have a particular country that you like to support, it might be in here. It's not a huge roster of teams, but there's enough in here that you can actually have a little bit of variety. The different body sizes for each character, determining how they actually play in-game, I thought was a really clever idea and was really fun. And as far as rules go, it's actually pretty accurate, with the exception of fighting, where the loser goes to the penalty box and the winner gets to stay on the ice, which is not what happens, but that's okay. Still a really fun game, and for something that's now 40 years old, for it to hold up as well as it does is pretty remarkable. I really enjoy this one. This is kind of like a signature experience for early NES gameplay for me, and I think it's kind of remarkable that it's still as much fun as it is, and this is something that plays great. It's a fun game. Really should try it out if you haven't done so. If you overlook this one because this is an old NES game, you're doing yourself a disservice. Over on the PSX, we had NHL Rock the Rink, which was released by Electronic Arts, and this is basically NHL Blitz. So if you like NFL Blitz, you'll like NHL Rock the Rink. It's not much to look at. I will be honest. It's pretty ugly to look at, frankly stated. I mean, it's a PlayStation 1 game, so you know it's going to be really, really, really rough around the edges as far as 3D models and texture work goes. But if you can get past the look, the gameplay is absolutely spectacular. It is one of the most over-the-top sports video games I've ever played, and if you like hard-hitting NHL gameplay, this is the one for you, because this is just an absolute blast to try out. And one of the things I thought that they did that was really creative was they didn't give you all the NHL teams from jump. They actually gave you fantasy squads, so like the Reapers and things like that. So no NHL teams off the bat, but you were able to unlock them, and then you could play as your favorite NHL teams and NHL players as you go through, and I thought that was pretty cool. If you like hockey and you like over-the-top stuff, this one's fun.
You know what I mean? Okay, Player One, time to do some gloating.
Tonight's matchup, Boston versus Philadelphia.
The Great One has been the cover athlete a few times for the various NHL games throughout the years, but I think my favorite one is Wayne Gretzky 3D Hockey on the N64. Really interesting little footnote. This is the first ever 4-player game on the N64, and it's a really solid title. There's arcade-style gameplay where you're able to collect power-ups, but the neat thing about it is you can also set it to be a sim. So you don't have to play just in arcade mode, you can play in a sim version as well. I don't know why you would, but you can. It allows for stat tracking via your profiles, and when you're playing in the arcade mode, it's a really fun, high-scoring, over-the-top game. The hits are extra animated. The fighting is silly and ridiculous. It's just a really excellent game. And I think it's kind of cool that Gretzky offered his name for this one. I mean, Gretzky never met an endorsement he would say no to. The man loves money. But it was something where this is really the first one where I look at it and I go, yeah, no, this fits the Great One moniker. Like, this is a really excellent title. I love this game. Really fun. Foul-mouthed, aggressive, rude, and downright wholesome. This is Shoresy, Legends of the North. This is based on the show Shoresy, which is a spin-off from Letterkenny. And if you're not a fan of Shoresy or you've never seen it, this game might not be something you enjoy, because it takes a lot of callbacks from the universe of Shoresy and from the series and puts them into gameplay here. Now, I will tell you, just from a hockey perspective, this is the highest scoring hockey game I've ever played. you are encouraged to score goals. The game is fast. It's really, really, really over the top. And it's something where goals are going to happen aplenty because you get power-ups that really make the gameplay super fun. So there are things where you can get power-ups to turn the goalie into just a traffic cone. There are power-ups where you will have essentially the puck will become electrified and people can't catch it. So if you shoot it at a goalie, he won't make a save. It'll just bounce off of him. So consistent and constant rebounds. It's really cool. I love the absolutely ridiculous and over-the-top character models. And the strangest thing about this game is that while you can play Shinny and you can get into a pickup game really easily, it's from the main menu, the main feature of this game is that it's a hockey RPG. And you do combat, and your combat is done playing hockey. I absolutely love it. It's a wonderful game. It's silly and it's irreverent. And like I said, while it's foul-mouthed and vulgar and ridiculous, it's also incredibly wholesome and just a wonderful experience for a hockey fan. Yeah, this is Mutant League Hockey, and while this one is not nearly as polished as the NHL series, I maintain that the Mutant League games are the best reuse of an engine of all time. Taking both the Madden engine and the NHL engine and turning it into something that is ridiculous and over the top and frankly kind of insane is really creative. So in Mutant League Hockey, holes will open up over the ice that players can fall into. Players can explode. There are different monsters and things like that you play as. Like, this is not a game that takes itself too seriously. But what it does is it gives you some incredibly solid gameplay that just is fun. It's a little bit choppy from a graphical perspective. Like, things that ran really smoothly in NHL are a little bit choppier here in Mutant League, but I think it's still an incredibly fun title. And one of the things I do like about it is that, like, the things that it does differently than what NHL would set up are things that would make sense in a hockey league starring monsters. So, like, in fighting majors, yes, both players get a 5-minute major, they go to the box, but the loser also gets an additional penalty because he didn't win the fight. So I think that's really fun. Definitely a really excellent game. Definitely something that I wish would come back. Like, we had that Mutant Football League come out a couple of years ago, and I thought that was kind of be a revitalization of things. We'd see more of it, but that was it. And unfortunately, we didn't get a hockey sequel. But the classic on the Genesis, still worth playing, still a lot of fun.
The Minnesota Wild battle the Columbus Blue Jackets.
GameCube had a lot of really fun hockey games, especially from the NHL Hits franchise, and this one here is NHL Hits 2003. This is just a great game from top to bottom. It's arcade-style hockey, so it's not going to be like a heavy sim or anything like that, but it's got some really awesome gameplay, and the gameplay isn't like playing NFL Blitz or any of the other NHL games that are more arcade-based, because it still plays like a traditional hockey game. It's just ridiculous because it's over the top and crazy and fun. You can play with a mercy rule, so if you get 5 goals up on a team, you're going to automatically win. There are so many mini-games in this game that are also incredibly fun. There's a franchise mode where you're able to upgrade your players as you go. It's a full-contact hockey game. It's over the top, and it's super enjoyable. And it feels right at home on the GameCube controller. Like, it was, I mean, and this is such a stupid statement because it really kind of was designed for it, but of all of the versions of this game that released, because it was also out, I want to say on the PS2 and the Xbox, the GameCube controls the best, it plays the best, it looks the best, and it's a fantastic game.
And player one win.
Sterling wins the faceoff. To Sterling.
I think this game is Paul Newman approved. This is Bush Hockey League, heavily inspired by the movie Slapshot, and this is essentially what if Beer League was a playable game. Yes, please. This feels like I took the NHL 94 game engine and put a fresh coat of paint on it to make it something truly unique. It's throwback hockey. Guys skate without helmets, there's old CCM skates, big timber sticks instead of carbon fiber ones like you see in today's game. So everything feels grittier, everything feels uglier, everything feels older and a little bit more grimy. I really enjoy it. It's got an exhibition mode and a story mode, so you're able to play just kind of a pick-up, quick 5-minute game if you want to, or you can go into story mode and essentially play a season. It's really great. The team names are really funny. They're all based on different beers and breweries and things like that, which I think is awesome. And the game even has a beer mode for control, which I think is ridiculous and hilarious, because you only need one hand to control your players that way. You can hold a beer in the other hand and a controller in one hand and be able to play. And that's, while I can't say it works great, it's a really funny idea, and I think it's wonderful. Great game here. Really, really clever gameplay, and I really enjoy this one.
From the slot, Lockhead manages to find that puck.
This will be the last time I talk about this one for a couple of months, I promise. This is Ike Ike Hockey Neketsu Bu, or Neketsu Hockey Bu for the Famicom. This is basically Frozen River City Ransom. I love it. It's so good. It's a Kunio-kun ice hockey game. It's a little bit beat 'em up. It's a little bit sports, coming together to make the greatest peanut butter cup ever, which is just awesome. Each player has different stats, making it a little bit more in-depth than ice hockey on the NES, so each player plays a little bit differently and has different abilities than the others. And each team has a special ability as well, which is pretty cool, getting a little bit of variety depending on who you decide to play as. This is legitimately two great tastes that taste great together. It's something that I wish we had gotten over here in the States. It was originally supposed to be released in the West as Crash and the Boys Ice Challenge, I think, something like that. And it's a shame it didn't happen, because I think this game would have been huge. It's so much fun. I love this one. It's definitely worth checking out. It did release on virtual consoles for, I want to say, the Wii U a few years back, but I mean, that's kind of a lost art at this point. But if you have a way to play Famicom games, it's worth checking out. You don't need to know Japanese to be able to play it. It's just fun, and I think you'll enjoy it.
Face off at center ice.
NHL Open Ice 2-on-2 Hockey Challenge from Midway is a fantastic arcade sports game that is essentially NHL Jam. So we had Rock the Rink, which was NHL Blitz, and now we have Open Ice Challenge, which is NHL Jam. If you like NBA Jam, you will like Open Ice Challenge, because they're essentially the same kind of game. It's 2v2 hockey with goalies, and the gameplay is over the top and ridiculous, like you would hope from an NBA Jam style game. You are able to kind of swap your lines as you go and kind of pick and choose who you want to play as. You go on fire, just like you do in NBA Jam, and as you play, you're going to just rack up the goals. It's fast-paced, hard-hitting, over-the-top arcade action, and it's so much fun. It's a great arcade experience. I played it for the first time this year at the Louisville Arcade Expo, and the home version on the PlayStation 1 is also spectacular. It's just got a little bit more updated roster than what we got in the arcade. Fantastic game, super fun, and something that does not take the sport too seriously, which I think is a really, really nice addition. It's a really fun game.
He centered it. Stanford. He freezes it.
Here's the draw.
And we're going to close with the gold standard. This is NHL 95. This is the single greatest hockey game ever made. It is still the best game to this day, over 30 years since its release. It is better than NHL 94. I know there are some people that will be upset by that. I used to say NHL 94 was the best one, but my opinion on it has evolved. I know some people knock this one because fighting was removed, but I don't really think that makes a great hockey game. It's just kind of an additional feature, and the stuff that was added into this game makes it better than having fighting as an option in a game. You have a full season mode with stat tracking for the first time. You can create a player and customize your rosters for the first time. They added fake shots, drop passes, being able to drop down on the ice to block shots. It's legitimately the most hockey-like game that's ever been released. They are still chasing this game with their current releases. Like, the NHL games that still come out today are still going after what NHL 95 established, and they have not gotten back there. You are fine playing any of the Genesis games. I also really like NHL 94 on Sega CD, which adds in some better audio, which is really awesome. But like anything from NHL, the original release, all the way up to NHL 98 on the Sega Genesis are really fun. I just think NHL 95 is the best. And also, special shout out here to NHL 94 Rewind on the Xbox One. This was released the year Alex Ovechkin was the cover athlete. It was the Great 8 edition. And this was one of the kind of the bonus games that they released, was a modern version of NHL 94 with modern players and every team that was in the league at the time. And I really thought this was going to be something that EA kept doing and started dropping more and more and more classic re-releases of their old sports games with modern updates with modern players. And unfortunately, this is the only one we got that I'm aware of. And it's worth playing. It's really fun. It's incredibly well done, and it's available on Game Pass. Check this one out. Ice hockey, my favorite sport. I think it is the greatest sport on the planet. It is something that translates incredibly well to video games, and it's just fun. These are my favorite hockey games. These are the ones that I think are the best. That doesn't make it true. That just makes it true for me. Let me know in the comments down below, what are your favorite ice hockey video games? Which ones do you think are the 10 best? If there's any I overlooked, let me know down in the comments below as well. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a big thumbs up. I love talking about sports video games on this channel, so if you dig sports game content, be sure to subscribe and stick around. Until next time, folks, I'm Jay. Appreciate you spending a little bit of time with me. Remember to play more games, stay square, and take care. I'll talk to you soon.